Hey, what's going on, guys? I want to do a quick video on my stories channel about what just took place overnight. Trump confirms overnight strikes, and Maduro and his wife were rolled up. They were taken to the USS Iwo Jima by helicopter, and they're being flown back right now to New York to face federal charges from years ago. Now, the entire country was designated a terrorist organization. For sure, the cartel Tren de Aragua was designated, and Maduro was designated the head of that snake. He was given many opportunities. He was actually given a recent opportunity to leave the country. No negotiations on the table. He must leave now, and he didn't take that opportunity. In fact, he went back to the country and started running his mouth. President Trump said he's not going to get immunity, which is one of the caveats that he wanted, Maduro wanted, but he was not going to be given a free ticket anywhere in the world and then amnesty of some sort, because he was going to face justice for all that he's done. Now, I happen to believe, obviously, there's more to this story than just what meets the eye, because technically, with Venezuela having the most oil reserves in the world, not accessible, but in the world underground, there is a strategic implication here. And when you're lining up efforts, when you're looking at priorities, this is a priority because it's dealing with the national security and interest and near survival of the country for the long term. What I like about it is Trump said a whole bunch of stuff. His administration said a whole bunch of things. We saw a lead up. And I thought this from the very beginning. I advertised this, that this was likely going to evolve into us going into that country. There's no way it wasn't going to happen, and it did. I even talked about it as it related to a few Green Berets that tried to do a coup attempt that failed, that this was likely going to end up in a paramilitary operation in conjunction with direct action on the ground, and it did. Delta Force, Task Force 160th, they say U.S. law enforcement, that's only going to be FBI HRT. You might have some intermingled operators from other organizations, maybe DHS, if they're lucky, maybe ATF, intermingled in the task org. But the main effort unilaterally was going to be Delta. It was probably a squadron. I can't imagine it was much more, based on the limitation of rotary wing assets that can infiltrate. I did see video of an MH-47, some MH-60s. There were likely a Little Bird package in there, which includes AH-6 with close air support. Also, MH-6s carrying 4 operators, 2 on each side of the Little Bird. And it's what Delta does. I mean, this reminds me of Panama. And the actions that took place. Except the difference here is Trump said, if you don't give up, there are going to be consequences. And he executed it in a timely fashion. He didn't draw a line in the sand politically or diplomatically and then recant that statement like Obama did with on many opportunities, but especially with Syria. So what does this mean? Well, you could see by the videos that are being released, which I'll do a reacts on Monday on this with all the content rolling out. For sure, that's going to be on Mike Glover channel, by the way, not this channel. But for sure, there are people celebrating on the street because Maduro was a dictator. This is what happened when a country becomes a socialist, communist, and dictator-led country. This is a great example. North Korea, China. This is a great example in Venezuela of what happens. So if you think this idea of a democratic socialist is going to end well, it never does. The power doesn't go back to the people. It goes back to the interest of the person in charge. And then that wealth, that power is not disseminated to people. It is kept. And this is progressively how it ends up. you wind up getting extracted and ripped out of your bed in the middle of the night by Delta Force under NVGs. I don't think it was likely a hard target set. There are reports that it was rehearsed on a mock-up. They infiltrated likely on the X, meaning they landed on top of the building, maybe little birds up high on the rooftop, maybe MH-60s in the streets, fast roping, or Task Force 160th is the best at this, landing right on the target set like they did on the bin Laden raid. The reason that's important is because speed, surprise, and violence of action, the principles of CQB, they need to get on the ground fast in conjunction with preparation of the battlefield, of the environment. For sure, fixed-wing aircraft, gunships, AC-130 gunships, that would be MC-130 gunships, drones, were prepping the environment by taking out anti-aircraft guns, Dishkas, Zukias, any kind of missile or rocket launchers so that they can get assets in. It's why they closed down the Venezuelan airspace. According to Trump, this was supposed to take place 4 days ago, but it was delayed because of weather. What you will never see, I don't think, in my lifetime or your lifetime, is this much transparency by the government. They're advertising exactly the playbook on what they wanted to do. They said they were approving the CIA to go in. All of this is basically a comprehensive and strategic plan that's all put together with interagency cooperation, CIA on the ground with assets, task force conducting unilateral, very difficult strikes, hostage rescue, direct action raids, with the coordination of all the assets to make that a successful mission. There were operators injured. There was no casualties. I'm looking right now as an update is a picture of Maduro with blacked out mask and earmuffs drinking a bottle of water. It says the dictator appeared in a gray sweatsuit and was seemingly blindfolded and restrained. He was also holding a plastic water bottle. I'll get into more of this on Monday with the reacts, especially as the content rolls out. We're going to see a lot of this. I'm very proud to be an American. I'm very proud of members of Delta, very proud of members of Task Force 160th, and all those law enforcement officers that are not just officers, they're operators that conducted this operation. There's going to be more to follow. It's a pretty impactful moment in American history because the times of politicians running their suck and saying one thing and doing another, we could see from what just happened. You F around and you find out. There's going to be a pendulum that swings in the other direction. There's going to be a whole bunch of political outcry from the left for sure. The question would be, was Venezuela and Maduro a terrorist organization? Yes. Were they compromising national security, including killing hundreds of thousands of Americans? The answer is yes. So what should we do? Most politicians on the left that are placating to these even illegal immigrants who are coming here, who are members of the gangs and terrorist organizations from abroad, who care more about their rights than citizens' rights in America, well, you're going to see all that chaos, especially on Monday morning. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you subscribe, notification tab, all that stuff, and follow Mike Glover channel. The reacts will be out on Monday, Tuesday. Peace.